Chair. Ms. Foster, let me ask you a question. Are you in favor of outlawing abortion in all 50 states?
I believe in protecting every human person, no matter who or where they are. So whatever you call that is what I'm for.
So you're in favor of outlawing abortion in all 50 states. Do you think that should be done by the federal government in protecting all of those individuals, as you call them?
I don't think that that we have gotten to that point necessarily. You know, we haven't. We've voted on the Women's Health Protection Act, and so we've seen the converse, the codification, and even
if Senator
expansion
McConnell was able to go forward and have a bill to outlaw abortion federally, which is not prohibited from the Congress from doing such, would you be in favor of Congress prohibiting abortion in all 50 states?
I would be in favor of protecting every human being, no matter where they are.
Thank you.
So,
and what if a person was impregnated by rape, incest? Would you be in favor of an abortion then, or still against abortion?
I would say that every human being is inherently valuable.
You said that many times. So basically what you're saying is you are against an exception for rape or incest. So if somebody is raped, you were saying they would have to bear that child because you consider that fetus a human being. And so that child would be brought into this world even though the woman was forced into sex by possibly and probably somebody who she had no affinity towards whatsoever. I find that abhorrent to think that that's where we are, and we in many states are requiring and concerned about forcing young people to wear masks to protect, which protects others, not them, but they want them to bear children. They want to force them to bear children even if they're raped, even if they had sex or raped by a family member, which is incest, which can be problems genealogically if they have the child and how the child would develop, the fetus. So it's just, this is what we've got. We've got an effort to outlaw abortion in all 50 states and to do it by congressional law if possible. And if the Senate and the House become Republican, that will happen. It will be outlawed here in all 50 states, not just Mississippi, not just Louisiana, not just Arkansas and Texas and Oklahoma and all those other red states, everywhere. That is pre-Roe v. Wade. Now, I'll tell you what happened pro-Roe v. Wade. I was only about 14 or 15 years old. I lived in California. I had a relative who lived in New York State, and she became pregnant. And she was not ready to have a family. She made that decision. The decision she made, which she could afford because she had wealthy parents and wealthy family, was to fly from New York to California and then to go down to Mexico and get an abortion. It turned out to be safe and fine and good, but the only reason she could do it is she had money and the resources to do it. People in small rural areas in the South and other places without wealth could not afford it. They had to go to back alley abortionists and sometimes lose their life because it wasn't legal. They had to possibly raise a lot of money to get somewhere, but they didn't have the money to get to California and to go to Mexico. Only the wealthy did. And we will have abortion by financial status if this happens. And it will happen in Mexico or it'll happen back alley. If you got enough money, you'll probably find somebody that could do it. In Memphis, you'll have to go to Illinois, which is also expensive and time-consuming. And you don't know what the laws will be in Tennessee, whether they follow Texas and put a bounty on people's heads for helping to finance folks to go and get an abortion. That is anathema. It is wrong what happened in this country in the 60s when abortion was illegal and the wealthy could afford it, but the non-wealthy couldn't. It's wrong to try to protect and care about people's rights to wear a mask or not wear a mask, but not the right to have and bear a child or not and get a family, even if you might be 12 or 13 years old. Now, abortion is not mentioned in the Constitution, but fetus is not mentioned in the Constitution either. And the Constitution doesn't say anything about when life starts. That is something the courts have to decide because it's not mentioned in the Constitution. And for the courts to absolve themselves of it and get away from it is wrong. 3 justices said Roe is settled law. Roe is the law. It's settled. It is stare decisis. It was not, as some on the other side have said, terrible decision, wrong from the beginning and just terribly wrong. It was right, said Kavanaugh. It was right, said Gorsuch. It was right, said Barrett. It's right then, and it's right now. I yield back the balance of my time.